This is body camera footage recorded this past September. Douglas County deputies are taking a man to jail for threatening his mother with a belt in Littleton. The man is already handcuffed. In a few seconds, you'll see Deputy Christopher Carden escort the man out the door and then put his hand on the suspect's throat for about 3 seconds as another deputy intervenes and removes his hand.
Right now, stop your Do you understand me?
Another angle, this time from Carden's body camera, capturing the suspect making a choking sound.
I'm telling you right now, stop your Do you understand me?
This incident prompted the Douglas County Sheriff's Office to arrest Deputy Carden and charge him with misdemeanor assault and harassment for the strangulation and for a bent wrist hold. It turns out the deputy who intervened also reported the strangulation, which is required under Colorado's relatively new police accountability law. According to the state's police discipline database, Deputy Carden quit amid an investigation before he was to be terminated.
The fact that a fellow deputy determined that he needed to intercede is a huge factor.
For perspective, we shared the video with Ed Obayashi, who is not only a law enforcement officer in California, but he's also a licensed attorney who advises other police agencies on use of force.
The problem also, from my point of view, is the optics is that you really don't have a clear justification for applying this kind of hold on an individual who's already handcuffed and is not resisting.
A police report says the suspect told a detective from jail he wasn't in pain and that Carden was just doing his job and that "my neck is fine."
The charging decision by the prosecutor's office was surely based on the fact that there didn't seem to be any reason at all to grab the suspect by the throat.
9 News legal expert Scott Robinson has this take.
It's not the most egregious example of police abuse that I've seen, obviously, but there certainly seemed to be an inexcusable use of excessive force.
Now, in a statement, Sheriff Darren Weekly said, "I was deeply disturbed when I was notified of this incident. Let me be clear. This kind of behavior will not be tolerated in my agency." In the meantime, Carden was with the sheriff's office for 8 years before he resigned. He's due back on court on his misdemeanor case early next year.
We are following developing news from the Los Angeles mayor's office this afternoon. The FBI has raided the home of Los Angeles Deputy Mayor Brian Williams, who you see right there. NBC4's Conan Nolan is following the very latest developments for us from our newsroom. Conan.
Hello, Robert. He has worked in 2 mayoral administrations, and he serves as the conduit between the mayor and the city's police agencies. And now this deputy mayor is accused of purposely calling in a bomb threat to his own place of work, City Hall. Now, police say it was a bomb scare at City Hall. They had not indicated when that was, just that it was earlier this year. It's believed it led to an evacuation of the building. No explosive device was found. But now the LAPD says they have identified the person who they believe called in that bomb threat, and he's a high-ranking advisor to Mayor Karen Bass. Deputy Mayor Brian Williams, seen here at the recent swearing in of the new LA County District Attorney, has been placed on administrative leave, this after his home was searched yesterday by the FBI. Williams joined the mayor's office in March of last year. His responsibility, public safety issues, working with the police, LA City Fire, LA World Airports. Prior to that, he served for 7 years as the executive director of the LA County Sheriff's Civilian Oversight Commission. We understand that because of the relationship with the LAPD, the agency has turned the bomb scare probe over to the FBI. The mayor's office releasing a statement saying the mayor takes this matter very seriously. When the threat was reported, LAPD investigated and determined there was no immediate danger. Now, Williams also previously served as deputy mayor under Mayor James Hahn, where he was responsible for the management and oversight of the Department of Transportation, Public Works, and Information Technology. We have yet to hear any comment from his office on this investigation.
Good morning. Welcome to the Bad Apple Report. It's 7:30 a.m., bright and early right here at home on the range. Thank you so much for being here today, folks. I really appreciate it. Today we've got a cavalcade of corrupt cops, but we're going to start our day out in Newport. That's where this first corrupt cop is from. Lawsuit says the Newport officer kept apartment key card, arrested man, and retaliation for comments. Oh, come on. Okay, Northern Kentucky man is suing the Newport Police Department, alleging its officer arrested him in retaliation for comments he shouted at police from his girlfriend's balcony. Brandon Rettig filed his suit last week in the federal court in Covington against the department and officer Ronald Lulamandir. We'll just call him Lulaman. Okay, the complaint claims retaliation under the First Amendment, malicious arrest and prosecution, and battery. According to the lawsuit, police were responding to an unrelated incident at East 4th Street on June 8th when the 29-year-old Rettig made remarks that the officers took offense to. Oh, Lulaman. Okay, Rettig was in a locked apartment building accessed by a key card. However, Lulaman, a former lieutenant, oh no, he was a former tenant, used a key card to unlawfully enter the building without consent of any of the residents, the suite states. Oh, Lulaman kept his key card, did he? Okay, I got keys to your apartment, Lulaman told Rettig before officers confronted him inside, according to the lawsuit, adding the officer kept his key card after moving out of the building. Psh, weirdo. Wonder what he was using that for. Rettig spoke with officers in the hallway outside his girlfriend's apartment, and police began to question him about whether he was the person yelling from the balcony. Well, hell yeah, it was me. What are you going to do about it, fuzz? Anyways, here's the thing. We know it was you, Lulaman said in the body camera footage obtained by the Inquirer. I lived here for 2 years. I know there's cameras around here. That's what Lulaman had to say, and he said it just like that. Okay, police then asked Rettig if he'd been drinking. He responded, I live here. That's what I would have said. Okay. Rettig told police he lived down the hall and his girlfriend was out of the country. Whoa. Though, that's a little too much information there, Rettig. And his address is blah, blah, blah. He was arrested and led out of the building in handcuffs. Well, this is getting interesting. Rettig was charged in Campbell County District Court with public intoxication, a misdemeanor. Public intoxication, hollering at a cop from your balcony. Anyways, though the charge was dismissed with prejudice in October, meaning it cannot be refiled. Looks like Lulaman's in trouble. Criminal citation states officers smelled a strong odor of alcohol while speaking with Rettig in the hallway, which police said was a common area open to the public. Okay. Rettig's attorney didn't dispute that Rettig had been drinking, but he said that it was lawful on private property at the time of the arrest. The officers merely wanted to arrest him because he wanted to punish him for engaging in speech that he didn't appreciate, the lawsuit states. I believe that's the way it is. A department spokesperson declined to comment on the pending litigation. Speaking from a balcony isn't a crime. It's a constitutionally protected right. Just ask Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets. Oh, that's funny, Robert Thompson, Rettig's attorney, said. That is funny. Oh, I love it. Let's be clear. Free speech doesn't come with conditions, and it's certainly not subject to police approval. That's right. That's right. I hope all those cops watching the Bad Apple Report disapprove. Yeah, I like it. Okay, Rettig is seeking compensatory and punitive damages, as well as a court-ordered declaration that the officer's actions were unconstitutional. It's currently unclear when the case will go before a judge. Well, that's a fantastic little story. That's a great way to start out the day. Okay, Lulaman, you're a bad apple, and you made it on the Bad Apple Report.
It's really shocking and obviously was not something that I was expecting on that morning.
What was supposed to be another workday changed in the blink of an eye for Amelia Jones.
She's got police.
On July 24th, Jones says she was walking her bike on Sacramento Street in San Francisco when she came upon police in riot gear lined up at a War in Gaza protest. Jones says she saw officers tackle another bicyclist.
Stop hurting them! She's got police coverage.
I'm on my way to work. I'm on the phone with my coworkers, and I'm just trying to help someone.
4 police officers jumped on top of her and had her pinned down on the ground.
Jones says she started yelling for others to help her as officers started to corner her.
Oh my God, what is
Spring
happening?
Street right there. Go down Spring Street.
No, my office building is right here.
Spring Street is
Help me! Somebody help me!
Panic and confusion and really just desperation to get out of that situation was the main thing going through my head.
Officers can be seen tackling Jones to the ground to arrest her. While in custody, Jones says they started to ridicule her.
The comments made are just so disrespectful and rude. They were just insinuating that I was doing it for attention, which is an absurd thing to say.
Jones spent 36 hours in jail and was charged with resisting or obstructing an executive officer, battery on a peace officer, and resisting arrest. A judge eventually dropped all of the charges after reviewing this body cam footage.
And I, watched it together with my partner. And, he was crying, watching it, and kind of like both of us were like shaking. It's validating to see the footage and kind of be like, okay, yeah, I didn't do anything and I did not deserve that.
And the Public Defender's Integrity Unit agreed, so much so they helped Jones file a complaint against the department for excessive force, filed on December 18th.
So that it won't happen again, right? So that we can address the behavior.
I would like to see disciplinary action against them.
We've got another hero in the headlines, folks. A former Centerville police officer is arrested. He's been accused of sexually abusing a teen girl. Okay, and the key takeaways, a former Centerville police officer was arrested Tuesday for investigation of sexual abuse of a child. The Centerville Police Officer of the Year in 2017 had his police certification suspended for 6 months following a separate investigation. Oh, okay, no formal criminal charges have been filed against him as of Wednesday. All right, maybe they're going to give him another award. He'll be the Centerville Police Officer of the Year for 2025, maybe? I don't know. A former Centerville police officer was arrested Tuesday and accused of sexually abusing a child from 2020 to 2024. All right. Roy police arrested Preston Casey, age 44, while he was working out at a gym and booked into the Weber County Jail for investigation of aggravated sexual abuse of a child, object rape, and forcible sexual abuse. No formal charges have been filed as of Wednesday. He was working out, you guys, man. Okay, Casey, who was named Centerville Police Officer of the Year in 2017, had his phone seized in November through a search warrant, which yielded concerning messages between him and an underage girl, according to a police booking affidavit. Well, the girl told investigators later that Casey had sexually abused her from when she was 12 to when she was 16. Okay, after his arrest, Casey admitted to the police that he was in sexually explicit photos of the girl. That he was in sexually explicit photos of the girl that were found on his phone. Okay, he's in them. He allegedly told investigators the girl was not a liar, but he couldn't remember any of those events because the medication he was. Oh, goodness. Okay, Casey worked at the Centerville Police Department during in 2014, according to public records, and ending January of this year. The affidavit indicates that several police reports had been filed previous to the current investigation related to the complaints by concerned parents who believed Casey had been messaging girls ages 14 to 16. Oh, so they've known about this guy for a long time. What do? They make him the Officer of the Year. That's what they did in Centerville. Centerville Police Lieutenant William Barnes said the department was made aware of a complaint against him leading to when? Okay. An initial report that the investigation says parents alerted police that Casey had shown up to their cheer squad events at a local high school and had observed unusual behavior toward their daughter, according to the Bureau of Investigation. Okay. The parents came forward with concerns. Casey was sending the underage girls messages, which were never sexual in nature, but felt it could be considered grooming type behavior, the report says. Well, the father of one girl and both parents of another who wished to remain anonymous told the news that Casey used his position as a police officer, often showing up in uniform, to build trust with the girls. Okay, I don't say this to a lot of people, but if you ever need anything at any time, please text or call me and I will make it happen, Casey messaged in February 2023, according to the attorney. Okay. You are truly a special person, quote unquote. The same month, he allegedly sent to one of the girls a happy Valentine message. Groomer! Okay, Casey had pushed one of the girls to accept him on a social media platform that information wouldn't be saved on. Okay, and then the first thing he did was send her a shirtless picture that was disappearing timer. Okay, sicko idiot. Okay, a member of that task force, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we know what's going to go on. There's a lot more to salacious crap about this idiot. So he's been arrested and accused of sexually abusing a teen girl and he's your typical bad apple that made it on the Bad Apple Report. Okay, let's move on with the show.
The former head of the union representing San Antonio firefighters indicted this week on a stalking charge. He's accused of trying to scare off the department's first female chief from applying for that job.
Christopher Steele, the longtime head of the San Antonio Professional Firefighters Association before he retired in 2021. However, San Antonio police say that when the fire chief job opened up earlier this year, Steele pretended to be an independent investigator and sent numerous messages to then, Deputy Chief Valerie Frausto.
Frausto told police that she believed the sender was trying to coerce her to apply for the chief's job. If that was the intent, didn't work. Steele was arrested back in May, and Frausto was sworn in as chief on Halloween. She declined to comment on Steele's indictment today. Instead, a fire department spokesperson emailed a statement saying that Chief Frausto's focus remains concentrated on moving the SAFD forward.
Dang, a Starkville police officer has been arrested in Oktibbehe County over the weekend. Oktibbehe? I don't know where that's at. Well, Starkville, Mississippi. A Starkville police officer faces a couple of misdemeanor charges after deputies in Oktibbehe County arrested her over the weekend. Sharika Johnson, age 26, is charged with simple assault and disturbing the peace. Sharika, what are you doing, girl? According to the Starkville Police Department's Facebook page, Johnson was sworn into the police department in May. Oktibbehe County Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of an assault on Lilac Street shortly after midnight. Oh, after midnight, we're going to let it all hang out. On December 15th, Johnson is out on $2,000 bond. Stark Police issued the following statement. We're not going to read it. Okay, Oktibbehe County has got Starkville's police officer sitting in their jail. No, she got out. That's right. Okay, on with the show.
A local politician, Area Senator Jesse James, has filed a police report after $32,000 were discovered missing from his campaign account. He believes his campaign treasurer, who is also his daughter, was behind it. According to a press release from the senator, he discovered the missing money last month. He believes it was taken out of the course of 2024. This is video from past stories we've done with him. James said he has filed a police report with the Altoona Police Department and an investigation is ongoing. James is Altoona's former police chief. He said, quote, "The core tenet of my philosophy as a legislature and as a law enforcement office is that nobody is above the law," end quote. James said the improperly withdrawn funds have been returned. He says he has committed no wrongdoing and is in the process of appointing a new campaign president.
Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be bad apples, or you'll be visiting them in jail on Christmas, like this deputy's mama is probably going to be doing, allegedly. Former Wacomico County Sheriff's deputy found guilty on multiple counts of grape. Okay, Salisbury, Maryland. It's probably not pronounced Salisbury, but, you know, makes me hungry just looking at that title. Okay, the fate of a former Wacomico County Sheriff's deputy is in the hands of the jury. They're in Salisbury, Maryland. 32-year-old Stephen Abreu is facing a slew of charges, including second-degree grape and misconduct in office. He's accused of using his position to sexually assault a woman while on duty in 2022. He had been with the department for less than a year and was terminated following the arrest. The jury began deliberating today, and the verdict is in now. 32-year-old Stephen Abreu was found guilty on several counts of grape tonight after hours of deliberation by the jury. Yes. Well, Mr. Abreu, sitting in jail, are you? Yes, you are. You're a bad apple. You made it on the Bad Apple Report. Now, on with the show.
Take a look at this. We're inside the Vertra Use of Force simulator at the Westerville Police Department's training facility.
So you'll see all 5 screens pop on, and now he interacts with the screen, trying to decide and make decisions.
Officer Jeff Dixon, who you see here, is a school resource officer at Blendon Middle School.
Hey, get out, get out! What we're showing here is the chaos that would happen.
Going through a scenario like this is part of his annual training.
Where is he?
These screens, this is what makes the difference. There are 5 of them, and they allow the officers in training to feel immersed in a scenario so it feels real.
It forces the officer to pay attention to what he's hearing behind him, what is being said on the side of him, to keep scanning left and right.
Lieutenant Aaron Dickinson helps train officers.
School shootings are horrible and unfortunately seem to be on the rise across the nation.
Officers must be trained to respond to any threat at any location. This tool helps with that. Take a look behind the scenes. There are more than 300 scenarios officers can be put through. This tool also eliminates the need for bringing in role players and ensures safety.
What we do is we remove the barrel out of it and put an IR barrel inside of it, and then it has a different type of magazine inside of it to help with the recoil.
This 300-degree system also provides instant results, so officers know how they performed in their response.
It shows you to the 100th of a second the reactionary time of what's really happening.
There are 3 simulators just like this right now in Ohio, here in Westerville, one at the Monroe Police Department near Dayton, and at a community college in Cleveland.
Do you think that this type of technology is something that, all Ohio departments should invest in?
What this type of technology allows for us to do is train a lot more officers in a shorter amount of time.
I think that's it, you guys. That was another long show. These bad apples need to give me a break, man. And all of us, we have to endure lots of bad apples. Well, I really appreciate you guys enduring it with me. It's awesome. And I'm going to whip up another batch of bad apples just for you. And I hope to see you back here tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. bright and early. Have a great day, folks.